Uh, SES America, we're an industry leading manufacturer in DMS signage. So anything that's LED signs, whether it's DMS, so a smaller DMS and whatnot, we do manufacture. We do blank out signs as well. We highlight work in the ITS transportation space as well as transit and commercial. And one of the products that I wanted to talk about specifically is called the FMX. It's what we dub the blank out sign of the future. And with that, I know blank out signs are common applications, whether they're on highways, intersections in traffic, or yeah, street intersections. And also they're starting to be used on exit ramps and whatnot on certain highways. So I know there's a lot of uses. So with the FMX, it's the industry's first full matrix blank out sign. And the purpose of it is to display information well, but also just improving your user experience, such as reducing the inventory that's needed or streamlining it, reducing your maintenance, reducing your spare parts need, and of course, just improving the integration and future-proofing for whatever other technological improvements or advancements happen within the industry. So right now, the current blank out signs that you see out there are two types. There's strings and depopulated boards. And with the strings, you punch holes through sheet metal and you display an image, and it can get a bit cumbersome because the wiring inside, it's complicated. They're kind of like Christmas tree lights. If one thing dies, you have to replace the entire sign. Not to mention you're limited to only one or two messages. And if you go to depopulated LED boards, each sign is unique depending on the message. And even with that, the messaging capabilities are pretty limited. And that's what's currently out there. With the FMX, it's a full matrix blank out sign that you can use. It's a 7.62 pixel pitch, and you can display anything on it. You can display all the MUTCD symbols, text, even a picture of Mickey Mouse if you choose to. They are swappable, one set of inventory. So this way, if you're stocking signs in your yard, rather than having 10 no right turns, 10 no left turns, 40 train crossings, now you just have one sign. One sign you can pre-program with different messages, and they're not just outlines of messages. As you see in this photo here, they are full color messages. And of course, they are very easy to maintain. All the boards are identical. The spare parts, they're just small boards that you open the housing, you pop a board out, put a new one back in, and you're done. And also with our boards, the technology itself has a 0.1 failure rate. We've been doing LED boards since the late 70s. So I think from then to now, we've figured out how to do it right. And with this, to reduce maintenance, one of these boards can be repaired in the field in under 10 to 15 minutes, or between 10 to 15 minutes, I should say. All you do is open the housing, disconnect the cable, pop a board, replace it with the new board, reconnect the cable, and you're done. There's different connection options for these signs. So there's the standard dry contact, which supports up to 8 different messages. And with that, it's controlled by a contact closure and just different relays. You can do that. And with any traffic intersection switch or any switch that you have, you can control those messages. There's another NTCIP version, which comes with a controller that would go inside of a cabinet. And with that controller, you can store up to 256 messages. So by messages, it's all the MUTCD symbols, or it can be text. So you can also have it where, I can give you one example. There's one state on the East Coast. What they do with it is, on the highways, on the exit ramps, instead of having a sign that says exit, they put these up. And normally when they're static signs with the image itself is static and it's the green background and it says exit, but should there be an accident or an emergency, then they can automatically change the message to say, hey, this accident up ahead, exit here. And it can guide traffic around and make it a bit easier to navigate through and reduce your congestion. The installation options for the FMX, Pelco, and of course Z-Bar. So there's 2 different ways to mount it. And of course, the weight of the sign, a 24 by 24 pixel matrix sign starts at about 31 pounds. They are not that heavy. They're fairly lightweight. So when you're designing setups and you wanted to integrate these signs, you don't have to necessarily account too much for weight. And some of the technical details that comes with these signs, you have 110-degree viewing angle, onboard memory, automatic brightness control. So whether it's daytime or nighttime, that's all controlled automatic. And you get a visor, a heat shield. The front face can be polycarbonate, which is much tougher than acrylic. Although in some cases, if you ever needed to go Kevlar, we can do that too. We've done that in one state where they required bulletproof signs. The housing itself is aluminum alloy, NEMA 3R rated, and there's no holes, no vents that are on the sign. And your typical power, 22 watts, 120 volt, and they're very easy to install. I'll leave this up for 1 second. This is just a sample of some of a shop drawing of it that shows a bit more technical data. And with that, there's more information in our booth. And of course, my contact information is here if you have any questions. You can call, email, text message, smoke signal, whatever works for you. And with that being said, it's a quick presentation. I know there's some time left. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks a lot, Mohammed. So as a reminder, you guys can enter questions into the Q&A portion of Whova.
Yeah, if there's no immediate questions, all the information, there's still some product data sheets and whatnot that I added to the booth. You can go there, visit it, download those assets, and of course, read them at leisure, and always reach out if there's any questions.